Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is your brother ISRAELITES from the Northern Kingdom, bringing some edification for you Negro, Latino, and Indigenous who are the biblical Israelites. And before we start, we want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Rakakadash. The Yahweh being the name of the Lord, not Jehovah, or God, or Yah, or Ahaya. It's Yahweh, the creator of all the Ancient of Days. Bahasham is in the name of, and Yahweh Shai is the one you guys call Jesus or the Christ, English speaking. And we give double honors to our elders in GMS where we learn this truth. Shalom to the apostles, the bishops, and to the men down the highways and byways giving the 100% truth. Shalom to you. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, the Bakar in the Hebrew, the house of David being rebuilt as we speak. Shalom to you. And shalom to the speckled birds among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, but return to the house of Israel and are being edified by these videos. Shalom to you. The date today is September 16th of 2025, our hopeful year of salvation and the destruction of the nation of Edom. And we're going to be speaking about the curse that the Lord put on the bones of the Israelites. Okay, this is a powerful lesson because the bones of our ancestors are not resting. They're not at rest where they're supposed to be. You know, they're in universities, they're in museums, even in private collections, believe it or not. Okay? You know, because it's against the law to trade in human parts. But nonetheless, there are people with actual skeletons and stuff like this from times of slavery. You know, the devil has a huge collection, okay, of things of this sort. But let's go to the scriptures and get some understanding. This is Jeremiah 8:1. At that time, saith Yahweh, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah. So you call Southern Kingdom Negros, right? And the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of his prophets. Okay? And if you knew King David, his prophets were from the tribe of Gad, which today would be the so-called North American Native Americans, right? And the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem. That's talking about you Northern Kingdom Israelites, you so-called Latino and Indigenous, out of their graves. Okay, so the Lord said this was going to happen, and it has happened. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon and the hosts of heaven. And we're going to go into that because this means not just astrology, because what happened, our people were bowing down to the sun. You know, you can read that in the book of Jeremiah. They were bowing down to other gods like Tammuz, right? They were putting ashes on their forehead, what these so-called Catholics do, right? That's all for Tammuz, okay? There's nowhere in the Bible it tells you to put ashes and put they say a cross, but it's really a T for Tammuz. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon and all the hosts of heaven. And the hosts of heaven, whom they have loved, right? Because our people started idolatry. Whom they have loved and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, right? Because they started doing sacrifices, even sacrificing their own children. And they were doing that here in the Americas as well. And whom they have sought and whom they have worshipped, they shall not be gathered nor be buried. They shall be for dung, for shit, upon the face of the earth. Okay? And this is what the Lord said. Because this has happened 100%. Okay? Who's digging up the pharaohs of Egypt, and then who's digging up the Israelites, right? Because they know who we are. Because the skull of a Caucasian person is a dead giveaway. If you look at a Caucasian, a Negro, or it's different. It's very different. Right away, you can look at the difference. So they know that the Israelites were not Caucasian people. They know this. Okay? This is one of the big secrets they've been hiding. They've been putting away that people will not know. Because it takes learned people, archaeologists, biologists, to look at something like that and be, okay, these are not these kind of people. These are those kind of people. And that's what they've been hiding this whole time. So you have to understand that the jig is up. That these people have been lying, and the people are finding this out. Okay? So the host of heaven, let's go into that. Because the Lord told us not to do that. This is Jeremiah 4:19. Unless thou lift up thy eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shall be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh thy power has divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. Right? Because the Lord made these things. He didn't make them to be worshipped. He gave it to the nations to worship Him, not to us. Okay? But this also is talking about technology, because there's a thing called alchemy, right? Alchemy is a combination of magic and science. Because when you understand the Edomites, the so-called white man, they don't worship the God of Israel. They worship Satan. Okay? Their God is money, right? So when they want answers, what do? They do sacrifices. And they open up portals and they talk to these demons. Okay, this is where the elites are so powerful. They have so much money because they have sold themselves to Satan. Okay, and they have given them their position. Doesn't it say in Job 9:24 that the world is given to the hands of the wicked? And according to Malachi 1:4, the wicked are the Edomites, the so-called Caucasian people. Okay, you can't hide from this now. It's all out there. Okay, it's all there. Ask ChatGPT, AI. Okay, all the information is out. Genie's out the bottle, and that's it. There's nothing nobody can do about it. Okay, so the Lord warned us about this. Okay, but we didn't listen. Okay, that's why these devils have the bones of our ancestors. They have them in universities. Okay, they're using as teaching tools. Okay, they're even in private collections. It's against the law to trade in human parts, but there's nonetheless collectors of these items all over the United States and in Europe. Okay, remember this devil takes trophies. He's the biggest trophy. You go to this guy's house and you can see the heads of all the animals he killed. What do you think? What they were doing during the slavery time? They were killing our people, raping them, using them for taking their teeth and putting them in there, using their hair, using their skin to make boots and lampshades and whatever you want. But they were eating our people too. Okay, but they were exhibiting the bones of our ancestors. Nonetheless, let's get that in Jeremiah as well. Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spoke against you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? Because it's for them. It's not for us, brothers and sisters. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and work of the hands of working men and the axe. Right. When do people cut trees and bring them into the house? One time a year. They call it so-called Christmas now, right? They deck it with silver and gold, right? Deck the halls of bells of holly, right? They fasten it with nails, with hammers, and they move it not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Right? Because this was a law that you have to put gifts upon the tree. Okay? So there you go. This is another example that we're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathens because of the signs of heaven. That's for them. Okay, that is for them, not for us. And not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at the right. Because our people are involved in what? Horoscopes. That's what this comes from, the horoscopes. Right? You have a thing divided into 12 parts, right? And it has all these images and emblems from Aquarius to Taurus and all this stuff. And our people really believe this. But, this is for the heathens, not for us. Okay? The Lord warned us from the beginning. And that's why the Lord is exhibiting the bones of our forefathers in universities and museums. And remember, when they do these digs, they know who we are. Do you think a skull of a Caucasian person looks like a skull of a Negro? It doesn't. Okay? It doesn't. They know exactly when they see the skull, these trained individuals, these archaeologists, these biologists, what kind of person it is. Okay? They know that the kings of Israel are not Caucasian people. They know this. The elites know this. And these are the great secrets, right, that have been holding back. But now the floodgates are open. Okay, all the questions are there for you to answer, because soon enough, brothers and sisters, coming the famine of the word. The famine of the word is upon us. So get all the information you can get. Know that if you're an Israelite, to repent, to call upon the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? The real names of the Hebrew. Those have names. They have power. Okay? And the elect will call upon those names. And salvation are tied to those names. So that's it, brothers and sisters. I don't want to beat a dead horse. You have to understand that this was a curse upon our nation. And that's why we truly cannot get rest. Not even in our death can we get rest. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Barakatham, Rakakidash, and he that have ears, let him hear. Shalom.